days I hate you, but baby, you're still mine. And now we have the best times, no matter what we do. And even when we don't, there's nobody I'd rather choose. Let's take it slow. Where you go, I go too. And if you hit the bottom, I'm going down with you. Let's take it. Let's take it slow. Who cares where we gotta be? You know you'll have a good time wherever you're with me. Let's take it slow. Where you go, I go too. And if you hit the bottom, I'm going down with you. Let's take it slow. Who cares where we gotta be? You know you'll have a good time wherever you're with me. Lock away your last, I don't need it. Throw away your life, it's unrequited. You don't deceive me, I see very small screen. Throw away your life.
Welcome back to the VCT Academy, brought to you by AIM Lab and Verizon. Thank you so much to our sponsors for making this possible, and thank you to all of our wonderful and beautiful viewers. Predictions for this map are live, so go ahead and do them in the chat. I am Becky Bear, joined by Epitomes, and we just watched a very intense map number 1 between these two teams. Do you want to give us a quick little run through?
Yeah, well, map number 1, 13-9 for the side of Dart Monkeys. They're somehow able to bring it back after it was a 7-5, I believe, from the side of Team Mystic Venus, but it was a lot of rounds won in a row, and it didn't seem like Dart Monkeys could get a single word in edgewise, and then they're somehow able to get so many rounds in the row once they switch over to the defense, and then bring it to 13, and then Team Mystic Venus are the ones that are left on the back foot as we head onto this map of Haven, which Team Mystic Venus, they are down a map, but this is their map pick now.
Their map pick, and I mean, you've said it before. I made you say it again at the end of the last round, but I'm going to say it again because I'm just so floored by it. Dart Monkeys, 0% win rate on Haven, but it is one of those kind of old, tried and true maps, so I think there could still be a lot to be said for just having the potential to pull something out of your hat. We saw some interesting new strats coming out on Icebox from the side of Dart Monkeys, so they might have something in store here as well.
Well, it seems like from both sides, they're going to lock in. Actually, well, they haven't actually locked in the same things yet, but they've locked in the breach, and the sky. So 2 different initiators, both very flashy, but Luna actually picking into the neon.
Ooh, I mean, I feel like you don't pick up something like the neon, there we go, without something like that breach. So I definitely expected that to be the swap. Aerie previously was the duelist for the side of Team Mystic Venus, so this little bit of a swap between Aerie and Luna is very interesting to see here, but I'm going to enjoy seeing this little bit of a change up. I have to go ahead and say it. I fell in love with Grimoire's Omen the last time that I saw Dart Monkeys play, so I'm thrilled to see that be the lock-in. But Pretext Microbe also did a very good job on the Omen in previous maps that I've been able to see Team Mystic Venus play as well. Bunny Bee kind of just cycling through characters trying to figure out what exactly is going to be the final lock-in. But I do also want to mention that SK has been known to top frag for the side of Dart Monkeys on this map, so definitely going to be somebody to watch as well.
Yeah, SK switching over to the Breach, a lot more aggressive pick than the Sage. And for the Sentinel, we have Bunny Bee, who is going to be sitting on that chamber, and on the other side, Violet, the ye old chamber player for Team Mystic Venus, is just going to stick to that pick here. And I'm really interested in the Neon pick because we've seen it, I believe, in VCT Masters.
Yep.
Optic does pick up the Neon on Haven, and I'm wondering if we're going to see some of those strats implemented here.
I mean, I feel like I haven't seen somebody pick up the Neon and not go for that kind of long C alongside the Breach, get that flash and get some like early game damage. That's just kind of like the bread and butter of this agent combination, and if it ain't broke, don't fix it. People time and time again. I mean, we even see on the map some attacking side caution pings towards that area of the map, and I like just immediately calling it out and being like, hey, they picked this team composition, that's probably going to be a strat that they go for, and let's just not fall prey to it.
Yeah, but actually, instead of C long, the Neon is postured a little bit more towards Garage, and I'm wondering if they're not going to actually go for the early peaks and instead just hold and make the quick rotations using the dash. But ooh, nice guiding light to start things off for Dart Monkeys on the A side, and Jesse just going to back off.
And with that, Luna, I'm going to go ahead, strap those J's on, and go for a little bit of a run here towards this A site. And this is one of the beautiful things that we get to see from something like this Neon. The quickness with which you can kind of move yourself to a different side of the map and rejoin the rest of the defensive side and kind of be the reinforcements to be called in is just so important. And a 4v4 situation now as a result of it. Grimoire, top of the head over that Radiantite box, but it's just not going to be enough as Bunny Bee. I mean, we get to see some of the beautiful reasons that Bunny Bee plays something like this chamber. SK to finish it off, but the 3K from Bunny Bee, absolutely insane in that round.
Yeah, 2 quick kills with the HUD Hunter, really securing them a lot safer spot in that round, and now they get the buy up just like that. And attacking side in Haven, this is kind of what you expect. A lot of aggression, really explosive gameplay, even if at first they're sort of just waiting around, trying to find their ways into the site. As soon as that engagement starts, it happens very, very quickly, just a snap of the finger. And that's why you might see teams favor something like the Neon here, but now it's a lot of aggression coming out from this team, just sprinting all the way into the spawn of the attackers while they're aggressing completely onto this C site, and there's absolutely no one to contest them.
I mean, I think Bunny Bee might be having some connection issues, was just kind of running into that corner and got caught out by Pretext Microbe as a result of it, trying to get some of those right clicks, but SK with that Spectre just going to be that much more potent, and now Island trying to peek around this corner with, woo, that Marshall not quite going to be able to convert to a kill as Violet getting some nasty shots of her own with this Headhunter, but now Grimoire from this long angle, SK at this close angle. Will this be something that Violet is able to combat? Watching the correct spots, but SK Spectre just going to be too strong for Violet to handle here.
Well, they lose a lot of guns going into that round, though, and it seems like that it just means that at this point that they're going to have some sheriffs and pistols on the board instead. I think Bunny Bee still has a hunter to rely on, a headhunter to rely on, so it's not the most horrible thing. While on the other side, the defenders have picked up full rifles and mostly full shields. There are some half shields across the board, however, and they're switching up the defensive positionings a little bit as well. Now they have the Neon towards the A side, and that's going to meet some early resistance. It's a guiding light play as well as the stun. Oh, completely caught out.
Oh, that's so close to just being a really sweet combination for that defensive side. Thankfully, though, Island was able to move back and out of harm's way there. Luna jumping into action and
Oh.
unfortunately also just jumping right into SK. Two members of the defensive side remaining, one of them hanging out in Jesse towards this A long area. So they're all, unbeknownst to Jesse, gonna just like slowly funnel in. Jesse's able to pick up 2, right place, picks up 3, falls to Island, and now it is just Pretext Microbe in this Omen in a 1v2 situation, and I'm excited to see how we bring this into play. Has 2 smokes ready, so could potentially use them. Jumping up towards this, running into that, recon bolt, maybe not where you wanted to do, is going to break the ankles there, and as a result we will see that shock dart come out as well, forcing themselves back into the smoke for 1, but not good to finish off Autumn.
Did Autumn just have that Vandal the entire time? I'm just wondering if she just decided to go for the sheriff shots, but instead that was a nice shot from the from Jesse to really hold it down, take down 3. But the strategy from the side of Dart Monkeys was really strong, going to aggressing onto the B side, taking control of A link. And Luna definitely didn't expect them to already be pushed up so far, since it seemed like they were going for a B side take, but instead they wrap all the way around to the A side, clear it out from defender spawn, which makes for a lot easier take and helps out the defenders on the front side. But now it's a straight up aggression onto the C side and absolutely no contest at all.
Ooh. Yeah, I mean, they did that kind of, I mean, normally it's a 50-50 gamble, but on Haven, that gamble gets that much harder because there are 3 sites. They went and all tried to hold that A site. Unfortunately, weren't able to make anything happen. Good for 1 kill from Bunny B through that wall. Very nicely done, and now is just waiting for that to peek around from Luna. Picks up a second one. Headhunter trying to connect for more, but it's actually Grimoire and SK Autumn all just filing onto that kill feed. The whole side of Dart Monkeys just doing a great job of picking up kills all across the board.
It seems like every single time we see teams on an eco, their first strategy is just run it down, because they're either trying to get the round over as quick as possible because they know they can't win, or they're just trying to take them by surprise because they it's like a lot less to lose. But I think I would like to see some of that aggression on their gun rounds, except more meticulously executed. But this time, A side lean, they've positioned 3 attackers once again towards that A side. The guiding light is going to connect, so they definitely know there's someone there. They take out the tour de force as well to guard a lobby, but now they know that Seaside might be a little weaker since they've seen these 3. And Max Microbe, that's the controller down.
Yeah, those smokes also going down hurts that much more when somebody like Bunny B has an operator in hand. So that's going to be very difficult for them, considering that Bunny B is just absolutely nasty with this operator, picking up yet another kill, and a really close range one at that. Now just gets to mosey on along down back C long and wait for this post-plant situation. Luna thankfully able to pick up that 1 kill onto SK, who's just throwing out a menagerie of utility, and Island forcing the matter, picking up 2 kills, and Autumn to finish off the final one. Dart Monkeys are just being abrasive in this game.
These executes, once again, they're just so explosive and quick. Just such fast takes in the mid and late rounds. But at the beginning, they're just trying to sniff out each of the rounds, trying to bait out some util, see who's playing on which site, and they do that to a T. And it's helping out their executes so much because they have so much info. And it's these types of plays that they were kind of missing on Icebox, but it's really helping them get a lot more information and make good decisions on where they want to go. But now another save round. It's going to be a sprint up C long from Luna with a Stinger, and it's just not going to pay off at all.
Yeah, they tried to make it happen, but with those worse guns, it just gets that much harder to make that little combination work out well. And with Ari and Luna both falling this post-plant situation going that much smoother for our attacking side here, as Autumn also finds a kill onto Pretext Microbe with that shock dart. Island with the 3K. Jesse, the only one remaining, and is just getting so aggressed on. Picks up 1. The reload is going to be the doom for Jesse, and the 6th round for Dart Monkeys.
Jesse at least denies the flawless here, but if there's any time to tack pause, it's going to be now because Team Mystic Venus, they are already 6 rounds in and there's a tack pause from their coach, and now they also have the buy as well. They have 2 ultimates to work with. They have pre-tax microbes from the shadows as well as the ultimate from Luna, the overdrive on Neon. And I don't think that overdrive is really a high impact ultimate. It does not have that same warning bell attached to it as when you see the tour de force being popped or the blade storm, but it can definitely be a gap closer, I suppose, in those rounds when you don't have as much gunpowder.
Yeah, it's also a little bit scary to try and utilize the overdrive in the same way that you do the Blade Storm or the Tour de Force because you just are in such a worse position if you get headshot immediately. And when you're just running at people to try and utilize it, it makes it that much more difficult. You don't have as great of a way to get out of your kind of up close and personal interactions the same way that you can with something like the chamber or the jet. So it does have its downfalls, but it can certainly be utilized in good ways. And I'm excited to see how it will be utilized for this team if we see Luna decide to bring out that overdrive.
Now it seems like a gamble stack, and I'm not sure that this is the right play because what this team has been doing is they've left B side completely open and made strong defensive plays on both A and C. But they maybe gaining control of mid could really cut off these attackers here, but instead another execute looking towards the A side, an owl drone to try and sniff out Luna. That tag apparently does miss her, so she is safe in sewers for now, but not for long.
Not for long as the peek out from SK gets a little bit punished there by Luna. Thankfully, though, Island there for that trade back is going to be forced to push off of this A site. And thankfully for Dart Monkeys, some of that action is forcing some attention towards the middle part of the map. It was only for a moment. Looks like we are going to see some of those anchors go back towards that C site. And with that, the Hunter's Fury will be popped. Information gathered. We'll see who will be the final target. No damage actually completed from that Hunter's Fury onto these defensive-sided players, but it looks like Violet waiting, hoping that there will be a moment to make a nice little rotation with this operator. That was maybe not the jump peak that Violet was hoping for, and with those 2 kills, we will be seeing Dart Monkeys encroach on to the C side. Island picks up 1. Airy, though, nicely able to trade out now in a 1v3 situation, not able to get any damage dealt right back, and the onslaught continues from the Dart Monkeys.
Well, we actually haven't seen either of these teams look at B at all. And the thing is, at the beginning of the rounds, the early rounds, these teams, especially Dart Monkeys, they are very split up because they're defaulting, but only on A and C. They barely look towards B, and if they're in mid, it's to look at Garage. And I think if they take more control of that mid area, split off the defaults from these players on either side of the map, then they can really isolate their fights and make it so much easier for the retake, pick off the players one by one. But this time, it's a full A site take from the side of Dart Monkeys. They've got a lot of confidence going into this, and they're just trying to clear it out with some utility and head straight on. They're basically picking and choosing, no more defaulting at this round, but Luna takes out the overdrive.
It's out. The Palpatine fingers trying to go crazy, but it's a little bit blocked off by these dark covers here. Decides to dash out, and somehow Bunny Bee able to quickly be able to match the body of Luna there and then find that kill. Island high ground finds Airy as well, and that does seem to be all the members of the defense taken off of this A side. Agent advantage on the side of Dart Monkeys, and waiting for the defensive side to figure out how they want to work towards this retake with these saved guns. Jesse from the on the a member of the defensive side on the attacking side gets a little bit punished there by SK, but I mean, if Violet can just line up a bunch of kills like that, this could go well, but Grimoire and Island say absolutely not. 8 rounds to 0. Dart Monkeys definitely a favor in this map, and it looks like we're going to be seeing a tech pause here.
Yeah, I think we did see Bunny B disconnect in that last round. They should be back pretty soon, but it was a good thought. I think a good thought for that retake, but they definitely need to wait for each other a lot more. The paranoia helped them out a lot in securing that first kill, especially Violet on the way onto the site. But they are fighting really hard to take care of these sites, and I'm saying that they maybe should focus a little bit more on mid, on grass, on the B site instead of going so strong and so hard on either sides of the map. And it's also the fact because they put so much defensive power onto these sites, they really want to hold on and fight for them instead of just backing off and playing for the retake. But they have the Rolling Thunder now. They have a Sky as well as a Breach. They have a lot of info for the post plant. They could potentially have really strong retakes, but they're just focusing so hard on trying to keep them off the sites rather than retaking them.
I mean, that's gotta be what our players are thinking, and so far, I mean, Luna has just wanted to get so aggressive, but it feels like the aftershocks from SK are just kind of following Luna around the map, and every time Luna wants to put on those speedy shoes and go dashing around and trying to get aggressive, it's just immediately punished by some concussions, and it's just got to feel really unfortunate for the defensive side that's trying to implement a strategy with this new character. Nice little peek away to avoid getting blinded from Island, and with the rest of the team to follow up behind, it's just a lot of kills going the way of Dart Monkeys once again. It looks like with this ult orb, we will have SK's Rolling Thunder ready to follow up into this map. And I mean, they just get to do whatever decision they want to when they're in this situation.
Yeah, because they've got so much, they've got two ultimates once again, they've got so much space, they have an advantage in terms of the operator on the long ranges as well, and the guiding light, even though, oh my god, wait, she's actually able to take down Bunny Bee. That's an operator player, and that's actually going to cause the Rolling Thunder to come out on the attacking side. SK actually going to concuss her own duelist. Island, unfortunately, on the site a little bit too quick there, but it's not going to matter. They're still going to be able to take down these players. I mean, I didn't point this out the first time it happened, but that's the second time SK has ulted Island.
Island just really wants to get on site, and SK's like, all right, but if you do, I'm gonna... I mean, it hasn't mattered so much because Island usually like picks up a kill and then the Rolling Thunder goes off, so like it ends up working out, but there are some ways where I could eventually see that going in an unfortunate manner.
Yeah, I mean, I did point it out the first time, but since, you know, first time it's an accident, second time's a pattern, but now, look at this aggressive. Ooh. I accidentally muted myself, but they are pushing down aggressively, and this is actually an eco buy for them as well.
I like this decision. I mean, this is very different. I mean, unfortunately, we are getting caught out by Bunny Bee, who it seems to have expected something like this, hanging out towards spawn. And now the rest of them just get to kind of loop around and take this gunfight at a range that I'm sure the defensive side was not hoping to do. Bunny Bee, feeling so safe about it, decides to do a couple 360s and just wait for the rest of the team to clean it up.
Oh, that was unfortunate. And well, now they've hit double digits already. They actually invested quite a few ultimates though in the last few rounds. Both the Tour de Force and the Blade Storm now gone, as well as the Rolling Thunder. They only have that Hunter's Fury left over, but they also do have full rifles. Bunny Bee still has the operator. It was a flawless last round, but now Violet taking out the Tour de Force. She said, "You want to play? Let's play," and she's going to try and cut this off at the knees, but not going to meet any resistance actually on this B side. But it allows her to get a little bit more aggressive now.
This Rolling Thunder that the Aftershock that Aerie has queued up is going to run into so many people, and I would have expected for Aerie to go ahead with that Rolling Thunder, but unfortunately falls to Island. Jesse with a nice little trade back is getting very tagged up by the Hunter's Fury, which will allow for Autumn to connect for that kill. Shock Darts to follow towards a default area. Let's see where they end up landing. Thankfully, we do see Pretext Microbe saying, I'm not going to hang out over there. I'm going to avoid those and try to keep holding down as an anchor towards this C site while the rest of my team gets aggressive. Violet's able to pick up one, and now just waiting for somebody else to peek out, holding that window area as Luna with a nice little curve around this corner. Grimoire is the only one remaining, knows that there is this chamber here, but it will be Violet to give them their first round of this game.
Yeah, I think Violet was ultimately what allowed them to win that round. Violet and Luna, I should say. But Violet popping the tour de force, she rotates around towards mid, finally putting some focus on grass and realizing that there is absolutely no attacker presence, because for the most part, Dart Monkeys have not shown any interest in the B site at all. They know that it is the easiest to retake. They know that it's the hardest to hold in a post plan, so they just want to leave it alone, but it also allows Violet so much space. She's able to just walk up mid without a contest at all from window, and then all of a sudden there's a path into their spawn. But now, once again, it's the defaults on either side of the map, and it's a 1-for-1 trade thus far.
I mean, the trade is what you've just got to be a little bit thankful for. Island's going to go back and defend Autumn's body, who is in that little owl drone connection. We are going to see Bunny B get a little bit smoked off here and kind of forced back with the rest of the team. Pretext Micro going to hold a sharp corner onto the C site just beyond that dark cover, as the dark covers from Grimoire also to follow up. Going to go ahead and throw that paranoia, and we will see that Pretext Micro holding that angle is going to be in an unfortunate situation when blind and afraid, and with that, Island's going to be able to get this bomb down, but the Rolling Thunder is going to allow for the defensive side to get onto the site just fine. Airy picks off Island, 2v2 situation. Now the Recon Bolt to try and gather some information. Bunny B peeking around that corner finishes off those final 2 kills so well for the side of Dart Monkeys.
Last round in the half, I mean, they could have potentially made it a 2-10, which is marginally better than a 1-11 here, because once again, after they win that last round by pushing up mid, they don't try it again. They don't really try to make space in grass. They don't try to make pathways to cut off those rotations from A to C, and I feel like they kind of lost themselves a little bit in that last round, because they definitely could have taken advantage of it, because it was another one of those slow early rounds, but the mid-round calls just weren't there. Violet not confident enough without the without her tour de force to push down mid on her own, so it just so happens that Dart Monkeys were able to secure another round. But now on the attack, hopefully this will be an easier time for the side of Team Mystic Venus.
And hopefully they're able to just keep some momentum here. Luna gonna do a valiant effort of spearheading alongside Airy, readying this blind to be a way for them to peek. Violet picking up a nice early kill across the map, going to be able to gather a little bit of momentum. Unfortunately, Autumn is just different with this ghost, finds 2 headshots and a little bit of damage dealt, but not too bad of a situation as Pretext Microbe and Jesse unfortunately run into the very aggressive defensive side. Island now on the hunt for Violet. Ooh, but I mean, Violet, Headhunter is in the name of that gun, so it does make sense that you'd be able to find that kill. If we can just line up 2 more like that, Violet, certainly a player that has the ability to finish this off and make it all worth it. Trying to figure out, has a feeling that somebody is down there, trying to check all these corners from as far of an angle as possible. It's going to be so scary if somebody decides to peek, is able to find SK, but not able to find the kill.
Well, they narrow it down a little bit more. It was close. It's possible for them to be able to close this one out with maybe more than 1 point on the board, but this is just such it's like all falling apart like wet bread for Team Mystic Venus, because this is their map pick, a 0% win rate map for Dart Monkeys, and somehow they still end up with only 1 round on the board at the end of the first half, given Haven is an attacker-sided map, but still, they should be able to find more than a single round here, and now they have no choice but to force up into these guns, because they cannot risk them running away with this.
Yeah, Aftershock and Fast Lane to be the nice start, trying to get themselves onto this B site, but the shots just through the smokes are going to be able to connect for SK
Oh,
and Bunny B. The Bucky finally getting some work done on the kill feed today as Violet also able to get some trades back there. 3v3 situation now, and the rest of the attackers trying to stick together. Jesse's looking a little bit hurt, but has the bomb and will be able to get it down. Pretext Micro getting those dark covers out, and a lot of denial of information here. A nice one-way actually for these attackers who are holding very close to the bomb, but this
ooh.
Aftershock could be a great lineup from SK down long.
Oh,
Ooh, lots of shots coming out, but it just is barely enough for Pretext of Micro to actually secure 3 kills into that. And Jesse, nice peek around to finish off SK. 2 points, an uphill battle for TMV, but slowly starting to make some stuff work.
well, finally they find their way into a single round on the attacking half. They give themselves a little bit more gunpowder as well, Luna buying into that Vandal, and the rest of them sticking to the Spectres. But on the other side, Dart Monkeys, they don't really have any guns on board. Grimoire has bought into a shorty, and the sheriffs are really the only threats here. Autumn possibly with that ghost, but it's going to be an aggressive eco play from Dart Monkeys. You can already see them aggressing Island, just one shot and then Tailwind's out, but they've also forced a rendezvous out of Violet as they run down C Long. Oh,
Grimoire and I believe that was Bunny Bee got extremely aggressive, got some kills back and forth, but I believe that Grimoire was running at them with just a
a
shorty.
shorty.
Is able to go and pick up a different gun off of that little skirmish there, but it looks like Island is simply going to wait for the rest of the defending side that are moving on from this flank. It doesn't seem like either of them saw Luna, but
Oh.
SK with a nice little slow walk and shoot in that gun are able to find that kill. The concussion is going to make it that much easier for Jesse to pick up that kill, but does fall to SK. 1v1 situation now. Pretext Micro trying to find a gun. Here's that defuse, was going to try and go for the long angle, but is forced to just run back right into Island's Sheriff, and it will be the defuse and the 0 win% map actually going the way of Dark Monkeys. Dark Monkeys? Dart Monkeys. Oh my goodness. I'll go over.
I mean, I guess this is what you should expect from the team that was the only unsigned free agent team to get into the top 8 of the actual VCT Game Changers. And now Game Changers Academy, once again, they advanced to the finals to go against Randos. And like you said before, Randos were the only people that were able to take a map off of Dart Monkeys. So it's going to be the rematch in the grand finals for tomorrow, and a clean 2-0 for Dart Monkeys on their 0% win rate map to bring it back. But they make it.
Yeah, and I mean, epitome for a 0% win rate. That looked pretty good to me. I feel like, I don't know about you guys, but Becky, looking at that game, watching everything that was unraveling before you, I mean, Dart Monkeys played amazingly. So I guess you could name like 50 million things that they did, whether it be their synergy or even just the plays that they had with their utility getting onto the sites. But in specifics, what is something that kind of stood out to you with Dart Monkeys, and what is something that other teams might have to watch out for?
Bunny Bee's confidence. I mean, the 3 people at the top of the board for Dart Monkeys are Bunny Bee, Island, and SK, and the way that they all play is just so aggressive and confident. They go into these kind of situations where they just expect and they trust each other, and they're able to just get a ton of early kills. And once they get those early kills, they're able to just like have their way with whatever situation they want to make happen. They were able to do it so well on the attacking side. Between the 3 of them, one or 2 of them would get early picks across the map, and then they'd just be in a 5v3 situation, and the rest of they'd just group up as 5 and say, sure, all right, now that we're on the attack, you have to hold down anchors on every single one of these sites, but we got 2 picks, so we're able to just kind of go crazy, go wild, and it worked out so well for them. I mean, obviously they had an 11-1 half, and a lot of it, again, I think just came from the aggression, but also just sheer confidence that Dart Monkeys had to offer.
Okay, yeah. Epitomes, I mean, if you'd like to give your two cents in as well.
I mean, I definitely think that Dart Monkeys of obviously they played incredibly well, but it's also the fact that, oh, well, we go into this and we're like, we don't expect too much because Dart Monkeys, they're like, oh, this is a low win rate map for them. They don't really do well on Haven. And then they come in and they have these crazy adaptations and they're really looking at how Team Mystic Venus plays and they're adjusting around it. But Team Mystic Venus, they seem like they're falling a little bit short when they're trying to do the same thing and they turn around and try and look at the way Dart Monkey plays, and then they just can't really figure it out. And I think it cost them a lot of rounds. It was really like very, very late into the first half when they were able to get a single round on the board, and they needed to make that adjustment earlier. But at the end of the day, Dart Monkeys, they played out of their minds.
I have to agree. They always play out of their minds. So, is there really a moment when they don't? That's what we might see tomorrow during finals. I mean, they most likely will be going against randos to see. I'm just interested to see who wins if that rematch does end up coming about. But before we do go, I did want to give you that update whether or not randos was able to continue to move forward. And actually, yeah, we knew that from yesterday. From before. I'm completely brain farting. But yeah, randos versus Dart Monkeys coming up very, very shortly, which is tomorrow, and you guys will be able to watch that. But yeah, I mean, if you guys have anything you want to say before we part ways.
I mean, it's a rematch, and the only team that's been able to take some damage to Dart Monkey's name has been Randos, so it's going to be a rematch that nobody wants to miss.
I pretty much. Listen, if you don't watch it tomorrow, how are you going to know whether or not Dart Monkeys finally loses a Game Changers Academy? Think about it. You have to watch tomorrow. I'll see you guys tomorrow. And thank you guys so much for joining me on the desk. It was so fun to have you. And yeah, make sure you tune in to see whether or not Dart Monkeys can actually take on randos or whether or not randos can take on Dart Monkeys.
Every time we say goodbye, they all see